Speaking to Sheila Fogarty on LBC, the Tory backbencher said Brexit Day will coincide with a number of big celebrations in his family. Mr. Rees-Mogg admitted he was not happy about the implementation period that will kick in for 21 months after March 2019, but that he was confident the government would deliver a proper Brexit at the end of it. As he described his plans for Brexit Day on March 29, 2019, he said, "Next year it will be my 50th. My youngest sister's 40th and my mother's 80th birthday between March and May. We might find that 29th March is a good midpoint to celebrate those 3 birthdays and coincidentally other matters." Get a beer. Exit News. Jacob Rees-Mogg will celebrate his birthday on Brexit Day next year. The stars have aligned, said the radio host as she asked what happens at a joint Rees-Mogg knees up. The Tory backbencher quipped, "Oh, I hate to think. We'll probably discuss Brexit in considerable detail." Last week, Mr. Rees-Mogg likened the Brexit transition deal to a dog rolling over without having its tummy tickled. Writing exclusively in last week's Sunday Express, the Eurosceptic MP warned Mrs. May that if we remain tied to the EU permanently, then it will be a humiliation on the scale of Suez. Pointing out that the transition deal has not allowed a single extra power to be returned to Britain at 11 p.m. on March 29 next year. He said, "If this was then to become the permanent state, it would be one of the greatest failures in our island's story." 29th March is a good midpoint to celebrate those 3 birthdays and coincidentally other matters. Jacob Rees-Mogg calling for those who supported Brexit to stay awake. He said the transition deal should only be cautiously accepted if it is genuinely a staging post rather than the final destination. There is so much in the transition that the government said or implied it would never agree. Free movement, the European Court of Justice, new laws, large amounts of money, sincere cooperation and even our fishing waters are all in the transition deal, he wrote. As fishing was authoritatively stated to be excluded by a cabinet minister just a few days before the deal was published, this is a cause for concern. A final deal on this basis would make fools of us all and would inevitably only be done by sleight of hand. Speaking at an event in central London hosted by the Leave Means Leave pressure group on Tuesday, he predicted that the Leave campaign would win by miles if a second referendum on the Brexit decision was held. Mr. Rees-Mogg admitted being disappointed with Mrs. May's transition deal, agreed by the EU last week because it kept the UK locked in the Common Fisheries Policy, the Commons Agriculture Policy and a host of other Brussels rules and regulations. He said during a question and answer session following his speech, "We're staying in everything, we're not leaving anything." He said Britain would be vassal state during the 21 months from March next year to December 2020, forced to accept EU rules without any say in devising them. He said, "We will have no representation and we will take their laws. That is not to my mind a good deal. The only reason I can stand up in front of you and say we should accept it is because the government is absolutely clear that we will have a proper Brexit at the end of December 2020, that we will out of the customs union, we will be out of the single market,